I want to show you guys something really cool. Okay? I know I bitch about women a lot, but this is why I say that a good woman I'll lie down in rush hour traffic for, because this is the kind of thing that a good woman will do, okay? In case y'all don't know, I meow at everybody, so people call me cat, people call me meow meow, people call me meow mix, and they know that I like cats a lot. But this is from a lady I go to church with. I probably won't even be able to open this thing. That's one of the bad things about gifts. Because it's like such a beautiful packaging. Okay, we did it. Such a beautiful packaging, we never want to fuck it up, but this is soup, okay? This is a fuck ton of soup. And they're still bringing me more soup, okay? And they brought me herb butter. Not weed butter, mind you. I should take a picture of this. That's fucking funny. Like, hold on. I don't know if you can see it. Herb butter. But yeah. It's a different kind of herb butter, okay? It's not the kind of herb butter that we've been making for the past 10 years. But anyway. No. She will like hop into the fridge. She does that. Yeah, this is why I'm a hoarder, by the way. It's like stuff like this. Like I would never throw this bag away. Yeah, so this is soup, bread, fruit, butter. They didn't have to do all this, but they did. You know, that soup's homemade too. So they didn't just give me a bunch of shit at Walmart. Like, they actually made stuff. But yeah. That's one of the cool things about going to church and, like, having a community. Just had to check and see if my car is still outside. But yeah. Community really is the solution to all of the problems right now. Creativity, community. Like I mentioned in my last video that I found somebody at work to do my brakes for me, so that I don't have to pay $1,400 on that shit. So I think that one of the main reasons why they've pushed technology so hard is because they want to remove from us the power that we have to change things and do things for ourselves. And so Goodbye, kitty cats. Goodbye. Don't ruin the house any more than it's already ruined. Please. My standards are pretty low. But they want us to forget. They want us to forget the power that we have. Because I've been asked this by a number of people. Mainly Zoomers. They're like, how do you do this? How do you do that? It's like, well, I never got used to doing it this way. So that's why it doesn't faze me. You know, like, there are always ways around the way that they tell you to do it. I was like, what the fuck is this? It's turmeric. What the fuck is this orange shit? I thought it was a carrot. Like, I don't fucking eat carrots like that. I really don't. But yeah. I'm making sure I have tampons. Cause I just started today, you guys. I just started my beloved menstrual cycle. It's not that cold today. It was so cold yesterday. Today. Yeah, the fact that they have managed to convince so many people that they can't do anything without a phone on their person all the time. Like, that's crazy to think about. That's crazy to think that, you know, just 20 years ago. Was it 20 years ago? The phones came out in 2007. So yeah, almost 20 years ago. Nobody had the thing that they carry around all the time. That people feel like they're naked without it, you know? I'm really glad that that shot came out for totally selfish reasons. So I was thinking about how much different my life has become. Like, just doing comedy and taking a chance on stage. Like, I think about how I was absolutely terrified to do that because I know that I'm funny, but I fear disappointing myself way more than I fear like anybody else ridiculing me, because I've been mocked my entire life, so that doesn't really bother me. But now I really don't care about the self-ridicule or whatever, because like that's part of it, disappointing yourself is just part of life. And now that I'm older, I can understand that it's really not that big of a deal. Especially, oh my goodness. Holy shit. Fucking sun, dude. I guess I just don't have the expectations that I did initially when I started. So, stuff that bothered me a long time ago doesn't really bother me. At least it doesn't for anywhere near as long. So, I don't expect myself to be anything close to perfect. I don't expect myself to achieve like what I achieve in my head, and I think that that's a way bigger issue with me than like, oh, people don't like it, or people get offended by me or whatever. I mean, I really don't strive to just piss people off and offend people. I mean, it's not hard to do that anyway, because everybody's such a candy ass. And if they haven't worked on themselves, then yeah, they're gonna be like way more easily offended by shit, and they won't even understand why. So it really doesn't matter if you offend people. And that's not me like being cold and insensitive about it, like, oh, I just don't care about your feelings. But it's like, when you haven't analyzed yourself, I mean, your feelings, not to like invalidate you or anything, but it's like your feelings really don't matter because you don't even understand them, Like, how can your feelings matter if you don't even know what they are, or you don't know why they are what they are? You know what I'm saying? I know why I feel the way that I do a lot of the time. I analyze it so that I do know. But anyway. What was I saying? I was talking about good women at my church. I think I was trying to make a point about community and how important community is. And I'm glad that the COVID shot came out, because it forced me into a church because I was so paranoid. But I don't have the paranoia that I used to, mainly because I've lost all fucks that I could possibly give about this world. During the whole lockdown process, I was like really obsessive about a lot of stuff, and I know a lot of people stuff, so I'm not the only one. But I was obsessed with like conspiracy stuff. You know, so you got most of the world obsessing about fake bullshit, and then you got the rest of us weirdos obsessing about stuff that's probably true, but at the same time it's not healthy for us to obsess about it. You know, it's not like shit's gonna change all because I keep thinking about it and analyzing the fuck out of it. I mean, I naturally do that anyway. I naturally look for all this stuff that everybody else missed. But there's this massive uptake of people doing that. And, you know, I really believe that social media is the devil's work. But yeah, God is definitely using it to expose everything for what it truly is. Photography is the devil's work. Because it just keeps everybody in, like, it keeps everybody in delusion, you know? I mean, just look at what it's done to fucking women. I mean, social networks have ruined women. Whatever was left of us, the carcass or whatever, you know, it's gone, dude. It's washed away. The ocean took us all away. And I know that people will say, well, that didn't happen to you. I mean, when I started on Facebook back in 2005, I think that's when I was on it, 2005, 2006. I mean, it was terrible, dude. I noticed that, like, I was way more obsessive, way more paranoid, way more anxious. I was drinking all the time. Like, the night that I passed out in a puddle of vomit, and this happened at like 7:30 in the evening, okay? Just to let you know, I partied really fucking hard. And I drank this whole fifth in such a short period of time. There's got to be like a record for that. Like, every time that I drank, you'd think that I was trying to, like, make a record of some sort, you know, because I was, like, competing with myself. Or, you know, I have a man in my head, so that's probably why I was trying to drink like a man. But, yeah, so I was on Facebook. That's the last thing that I remember. It was like, I was on Facebook. And I'm not saying that everybody that uses Facebook is going to drink a whole fifth in like 10 minutes. I'm not saying that. But they might as well, okay? I'm saying that everybody is so much worse of a person because they use websites that encourage that behavior. They make money off of that. So anybody that says, like, oh, but good can be done and blah, 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 blah. I think it's really sociopathic. Because it's like, you don't give a shit what happens to society as long as you have a good time. Like, I understand that everybody should be responsible for themselves and people should be held accountable for their actions, but most people aren't. That's not the way the world is. So of course they're going to create this invention that doesn't hold people accountable fucking ever, you know? Why wouldn't they do that? And you're going to have all those motherfuckers that just consistently make excuse after excuse after excuse as to why they're doing it all the time. You know? But I just think that most people are in a total state of apathy. And because they look at the world and they're like, the world is so shitty, who gives a fuck about my content? Why does it matter that I'm not contributing anything to this world? Like, when I turned 30, I was like, you don't have kids, you're not a mommy, you're not a wife, you're not cooking anybody dinner, you need to do something with your fucking life, you know? And I think that's why, like, I do this as much as I do, because I know that I have a lot to make up for, because I'm not a mom. And so, and I get really mad when people act like, oh, well, you know, you don't have to do that. Technically, I do, because I have a uterus, you stupid fuck. That's what we're supposed to do. So, fuck you. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're stupid. You're ignorant. You're fucking ignorant. Okay? And I'm glad that I have this over my head, because it makes me work really hard, and it makes me, you know, just constantly grind. So, you know, when people act like it's some kind of burden or whatever the fuck, I mean, maybe it's a good thing that it's a burden. Like, why does everything uncomfortable have to be bad? Why does everything negative have to be thought of as like, it's such a fucking travesty or whatever. I just think that the way that people look at things is totally wrong. If they shifted their perspective ever so slightly, they'd realize not only are they not a victim, but they can do so much with whatever they think is ailing them, you know? And so for people to think that I keep harping on this psychiatry shit, it's because it doesn't allow people to live up to their full potential. Go on Reddit, go on these YouTube videos where people are talking about how they're like disabled now. Like they can't do anything. They can't work, they can't sleep, they can't fuck. And it's all because they trusted a psychiatrist. But it's not about the psychiatrist, it's about trusting the system, trusting what you're told, trusting this idea of what our experience is. You should be the one that makes that up, you know? Like, I don't understand how people just like go along with what other people tell them happen, you know? Because everybody has their own idea of things. And yeah, most of the time that's based off of society's misconceptions, you know? So like take a woman. Take a woman who's like a victim playing, attention seeking, naturally narcissistic person. And then put her in a situation where something happens like that could be perceived as dramatic. You know, she's going to take that information, she's going to twist it, she's going to exaggerate it. Because that's just what we do, you know? I've been in situations, like just working in restaurant service, where like something will happen and somebody that wasn't there will show up, and then I'll hear a woman or a homosexual man, same thing, they'll say, oh yeah, this happened. Most of it isn't true. And you know, I'm not gonna call them out, I'm not gonna embarrass them and be like, that was a fucking lie, you know? Well, I've actually pulled somebody aside and said, dude, why'd you say all that? That wasn't true. They're like, oh well, you know, it's better. It sounded better. It's a better story. No, you're a histrionic person, dude. Like you got some kind of personality disorder. You need attention that fucking bad that you're gonna twist the minor details of some story. But I think that that's just the nature now. It's the nurture, rather. It's just what people do because they want the attention. They need this validation. Like if a person's more likely to pay attention to a story that involved way more drama and way more bullshit. And I think that we're subconsciously doing that with everything. That's why people are seemingly more conspiratorial than they've ever been. It's not because this world isn't a lie. It's not because our politicians and our teachers and our authority figures, doctors, nurses, all these motherfuckers, it's not because
not doing shit that's ominous. I think that they always have. But I think that there's something in it for people to dramatize things, because it makes them think they're more important, their life is so much harder. It's the victim mentality. I just figured it out. It's the victim mentality. Aren't you so proud of us? How long did it take for us to figure that out? The victim mentality is what's driving so much of human behavior right now. And so social media is just essentially capitalizing on that. Mark Zuckerberg is some kind of genius alien to be able to exploit everybody in this way and make so much money off of us. I mean, I can't be mad at Zuckerberg. I can't be mad at Jack Dorsey. I can't be mad at Sigmund Freud. I can't be mad at John Dewey. All these people just exploited what was already there to work with, you know? We make ourselves putty. We really do. We make ourselves putty and we say, fucking play with me. You know? It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. And I'm right to be pissed off about it. I feel like this motherfucker's following me. I don't know why I think that. Because I'm just so important, right? I'm so important. So I wrote this down on a whiteboard, and I totally forgot to bring the whiteboard, but luckily I remembered what I wrote. A lot of times what people think is schizophrenic is actually just narcissistic. So we do this thing called ideas of reference. It's similar to magical thinking, where we think that everything's important, everything's connected. Now, schizophrenics do it for spiritual purposes. We also do it for like paranoid purposes. But I think that like everybody's doing it right now. And I don't think that it centers in schizophrenia. I think that it centers in narcissism, because it's a way for us to make it all about us. It's a way for us to control the situation so that we think, oh, it happened because of this. This person wronged me because of this. Or I met this person because of this. I talked about this in an AA meeting the other night, and man, oh man, was it a hoot. I mean, they were all cracking up. During the majority of my share, I really need to do comedy again. I really, really do. Oh, we'll see.